Welcome to Kentucky Horsepower, the official podcast of the Kentucky Automobile Dealers Association.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the Kentucky Horsepower podcast. I'm Sarah Bishop, your Vice President of Legislative Affairs here at KADA. I'm really excited today because we're going to be introducing our newest preferred partner here at KADA. It is Dominion DMS and their business continuation solution, VUE Net. So with me are Scott Kaskasak and Keith Glandon. Did I get your names right, gentlemen?
You did. You did good.
Good. I practiced a little bit. So welcome. We're so excited to have you here. For those who don't know about our preferred partnerships, for our listeners and viewers who don't, it's vendors who serve dealers and who want to also assist and support the association. So we support any number of initiatives for dealers, and we always appreciate our preferred partners who really give back to the association as well. So thank you for becoming a preferred partner, and tell us a little bit about the VUE Net solution.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thanks for having us, Sarah, first off. And I live right here in Louisville, Kentucky, and big Cats fan. So
that was the right answer. We were looking for Cats fan.
We'll have a good special for those Cats fans, and maybe we'll have a great special at the end for the Cards fans too. But I'm Scott Kaskasak. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for Dominion DMS, and Keith Glandon is our Regional Sales Manager that covers this area, along with a little bit of Tennessee and West Virginia. And we're excited to partner with KADA. You know, it's always been a great organization. I've been around it for decades, and so we're excited to partner up, and hopefully we can provide a solution that benefits everybody as they move forward and protect them, you know, security wise, and with a continuity solution that allows them to continue operations should, God forbid, a cyber attack, a natural disaster. You know, those things happen, and we're here to protect. So we'll tell you a little bit about that solution.
And it feels like they've been happening more and more lately. And so I think what's exciting about this product is that you're our preferred partner, but we're not even talking about a DMS system, right? So we are, but we're not.
Right. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I mean, we are, VUE Net, which we'll talk about here in a second, is, you know, essentially our DMS. Our VUE DMS is 100% cloud built on Microsoft Azure. So it's brand new technology. It's only been out in the market a few years. I consider us a real startup, which is awesome, because we have the latest and greatest technology. We give you the freedom to build your tech stack your way. We have the foundation and the security. We have the client experience, and then we have really good client support and engagement. So that's what we're built on. But what really came about with the VUE Net solution is this great DMS. We're a core only DMS that during the cyber attack, and God forbid what would happen with CDK and the outage, and people were down for 15 days, and and the stats say if you're down for 1 minute of operation, that's $427. So you can imagine the revenue and operations and things that really went to ground halt. So during that time, we were just really trying to be good neighbors and good support. Since we're built in the cloud and we were able to stand our solution up within 24 hours, we started offering this to some of those dealers and said, hey, look, no charge. We called it VUE to the rescue. You can take advantage of our DMS. Obviously, we weren't going to convert any data because the data was corrupt, and they also got to the backup, right? So we'll talk about backups here in a minute. Backups are great, but they're not great when the attack also is able to get to your backup and you're not able to use it, or it's held hostage. So we said, hey, we can stand you up a whole nother DMS to back up your operations. You can use it to keep the lights on, to run repair orders, to do parts invoices, to close a deal. The essential things, you can use our system to do that and at least keep your business running. So then, a lot of dealers are like, well, that's awfully generous, and we're going to take advantage of that. Of course, right when we were getting to do that, some of the dealers started coming back on, but we thought, wow, why not offer this as a solution for people? Not just that one DMS, but what about all the DMSs that where we can say, look, should something happen, cyber attack, natural disaster, operations go down, flood. The dealers have seen all those with Katrina in New Orleans. They've had all those things happen. Fire. We even have a dealer that went through a fire and couldn't recoup his server. So we thought this may be a great avenue for us to do that, help dealers out, put a true business continuity solution in place, and protect dealers going forward, even if they have 3 to 5 years or whatever they have left on their current contracts.
I know when the cyber attack happened, we were all at our convention last year when it happened. So it was kind of the talk of the convention in some ways because it was so eye-opening, not
Right.
only for the dealers who had CDK and were trying to figure out how to get operations going again, but for those who didn't but saw what the impact can look like on, oh my gosh, it's the backup, it's the DMS, like what do we do now? And I think it's exciting that you guys have the answer to what do you do now.
Yes, we're one piece of the puzzle. Like, look, we're not saying you shouldn't have cybersecurity to try to prevent this from happening in the first place, right? But it did, and there was 1,000 other dealers that closely almost got attacked as well from another vendor. So we're not saying don't do that. That's one piece of business continuity, and some people have cyber insurance. That's great too. That protected a few dealers financially, but not operationally. So we're here as that. Your car doesn't run, it doesn't start. What do you do? Well, we're the backup car in the garage. We're that backup generator that, hey, you don't have electric. What do you do? Well, we got to get the fridge running. We got to get the lights on. We got to get the heat on. And that's where we come in, right? We can keep you operational. We can get your repair orders and your parts and take care of your customers while you're waiting for your operations to get back to normal. So
and for your insurance claim to go through and to get the check back. You can't. You're every minute is dollars lost. So the faster you can get back up and operational, the better shape you're going to be.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, it's interesting, Sarah, you mentioned, and we talked to some dealers, recently. They're like, look, we're still talking to you. It wasn't in Kentucky, it was, in another state, but a lot of these dealers are talking to us like, look, we had cybersecurity or a piece of it. We thought we did, we had cyber insurance. And while, thank God, that claim went through and we got paid, we were still a mess operationally. It took us months to get back to normal. We lost tons of business because people that we couldn't sell cars to weren't then coming into for service like they should have been in the fall.
Right.
And the biggest thing is you don't even think about this. They're a big, huge wholesale dealership. They're like, they have a whole building warehouse, 70,000 parts. They can't find a part. They don't know where the bins are. So they had to special order every single part. They could only do oil changes and the fast moving parts because they had those and they knew where those were. But they have all these parts in here and can't find them. So you don't know what bin they're in. So, all those things, they're like, it was an absolute mess. And so they're looking at a solution like this to say, wow, we may protect ourselves on the front end. We may protect ourselves financially, but how do we protect ourselves operationally? And that's where we come in.
Right. That middle piece is so important because that's the piece that you just can't always quantify when you're looking either ahead or in the rearview mirror is that kind of middle.
Yep. That's right. So yeah, we're very excited to partner with you all, and we have 3 different packages that come with it, and it's really just about what extensive of training and help implementing it. We have some different packages around that training and optimization, but it's really just a turnkey solution. We got a pretty cool tool that we use to set up dealerships with all their specifications and get all their information in. It's very seamless. It doesn't take a lot of time. So, we'll set the dealerships up with their information, their chart of accounts, their date. And so, God forbid if something happens, in this case, it's all with their stuff. It's all loaded with their specifications and we're ready to go. And we flip the switch and they're still running. And that's the goal.
Is there downtime to the current DMS for you to integrate with it? Or integration may not be the right term, but no.
So no downtime. May take us, we would need to get the call and it would take us a few hours to to get them
Right.
switched over. But we have tutorials and training and all that they'll take ahead of time, just to keep up with a little bit of training. How do you write a repair order? How do you do certain things?
Right.
That's all web based. And they'll take those little classes and just, kind of like a continuity solution every 9 months. Let's make sure 6 months that, that we're doing our classes, our refreshers. But each month we're going to check in. Are there any new employees? Did you change your labor rates? Is there any new, things we want to change or tweak? Just so, God forbid, again, if something happens, you're ready to go. We're not going to necessarily point our system over to the OEM because that does take a few days. Like if you're a Ford store and you're pointed towards a certain DMS and all your stuff's pointed to that for your warranty claims or your parts orders or all that good stuff. Well, a lot of that stuff can be done manually through Ford or through GM anyway. They can order a part, but we would wait to point ourselves over to that because, again, we're just here to keep you operational, get you running, and the non-critical stuff, we won't mess with, unless it becomes weeks and weeks, and then we'd have to, certainly make a decision there.
Sure. So if a dealer is ready, if they're saying, "Oh, this makes so much sense. Why do I not have this?"
Yep.
Are they calling you? Who are they calling?
Yep, they're calling. Well, I'm going to have them call Keith Glandon.
All right.
And we'll post Keith's number and email. I think we can post that out there on the site or give that to you, Sarah. Is that what
Absolutely. We will put it
Okay.
in the show notes.
Yeah.
And that will be there for folks to reach out to Keith. And then they get signed up, and are you physically coming into the dealership to turn everything on?
So basically, very easily. It's minimal. We'll do all of it remote. We'll use what we call our VUE onboarding experience tool. It's kind of like a TurboTax for setups and specifications. We'll take them through all that, make sure we mirror their DMS and how they want it set up, how they want it to run on our DMS should something happen. Give them some very easy training classes by department, by role. And then each month, we'll be checking in with them to make sure that there hasn't been employee changes or any things we need to tweak. And then if something was to happen, then we're there, right? And there's a couple different options there, right? We'll turn them over. We'll even provide people on site should they choose for us to come out and be there with them during the cyber attack and make sure people know how to use the system and there to back them up. Of course, they've already taken their classes and they know enough to be dangerous and know how to write a repair order. They know how to do a parts invoice or cut a check.
Right.
But we'll be there in that case too if they need us there.
And one thing I wanted to add real quick too, guys, is no matter what DMS they're on, if something would happen, they'll be able to come onto ours, and the system is so easy to use. It will not be a big deal at all to temporarily do your business on this system. So it's really easy to use. And having dealt with several other big DMSs throughout my career, it's so easy to pick up VUE Net and just start doing business. It's really a great little system. So.
All right. And what is there anything else our folks need to know? Let's say it's not a cyber attack. Let's say it is, a natural disaster, God forbid. But we've had a lot of tornadoes in Kentucky the last few years. So everything is cloud-based? Yes?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. It's all cloud-based. We're built on Microsoft Azure. We're only one of two DMS competitors out of the 9 that are totally 100% built in the cloud. So all our software is cloud native. We have one of our dealers, this really spurred not from a cyber attack, but from a fire. They had a fire at the dealership. And so he's taken precautions with extra servers. One I think is in a barn, one maybe at his house. Again, not that well protected. Some of our competitors have server farms in floodplains, right? And the backups are there too. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong. But yeah, we're 100% built in the cloud. We were one of only 2 competitors that were on Azure. There's only 3 cloud computing companies. That's Google, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. So we're 100% built in Azure, cloud native software. And we have customers looking at this not just for cyber attacks, but for those other reasons you mentioned too, to back up for and keep them running for any of those things that could happen.
And, we don't want any of these things to happen, of course, but having that solution for if it does has to give you some peace of mind.
That's exactly right. Yeah, there's just a lot of things, and and cyber is a big part of it, right? But there's all these other things that God forbid we don't want anything to go wrong. But you have the peace of mind to know that I'm going to protect my employees because they're going to be able to work. I'm going to protect my customers that are coming in because there's reputation management too. During that big cyber attack that happened a year ago, a lot of the consumers blamed the dealership, and blamed Nissan or they blamed Ford, or they didn't know it was the DMS that was, the dealership's down. Yeah, now I'm down the street at your competitor. It's the other Ford dealer or the other GM dealer because I can't get a car from you. So it's reputation as well.
Right. Thank you again for being on. We're going to wrap up. What are the most important things for our dealers to take away from what they're learning about Dominion VUE Net today?
Well, I'd say a couple things. I love the question. We're just a piece of a business continuity plan, right? There's a lot of things that go into that, all the way down to what the protections and compliances and things you have even on your employees' individual screens, right? And multi-factor authentications and all those little things. I mean, you just put together a plan, right? And we're a piece of that plan, but that can include the cybersecurity, that can include cyber insurance, that can include flood insurance, that can include all those things. But we're the piece that's going to be there to run your operations, to keep those lights on, to keep the heat going, to be that extra car should yours break down, to do the essential things you need to do to protect yourself, your employees, your clients, and your reputation. That's really the big thing. And we do it for a real minimal charge. And also, you get a chance to set up and look at a really state-of-the-art new DMS that hopefully maybe you want to take advantage of in the future.
And listeners, as your friendly neighborhood lawyer, I'm just going to add in, not only is it a good idea to have a plan for cyber attacks, you're actually required to do that. So, this is not a substitute for insurance, but it could certainly be a great part of the plan that you're already required to have. Really, data breaches, but cyber attack falls into that. So
yeah, one of our potential prospects had a cyber attack outside of the big one. Same deal, and he was this dealership, very large, like 40 some stores, was targeted, just individually targeted, and I think it came through one of his employees probably clicking on the wrong link or something, and so it also got held for ransom and had to pay the ransom because they couldn't get to the backup because I think the cyber criminals were holding the consumer data, as you would know, Sarah, as a lawyer, hostage.
That's
so
right.
They couldn't then go to the backup, even though, and then of course the DMS
because the data was out there.
And of course the DMS saying, well, this one's not our fault. This is your fault. Your employee did it. So they were stuck. So again, there's a lot of different things that can happen. And we just want to be a partner. I love KADA. Like I said, I'm been living in Kentucky for a long, long time. And we'd love to partner with you. And Keith and I will be willing to work with you for your individual needs.
And our dealers can meet you at our district meetings, right? You're coming to
That's
our district
correct.
meetings?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll be floating around at the dinners and the luncheons, and please come talk to us. And we'd love to meet and greet and help in any way we can.
Well, we will look forward to seeing you there starting next week. That's also, if you didn't notice, listeners, that was a quick plug for our district meetings. If you haven't joined, please do that quickly. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your partnership. It means so much to our association and to our dealers. So thank you for that. Thanks for your time today, and we'll see everybody next time.